All right, I'm unmuted. All right, I don't know what was going on there, but we're going to talk some baseball tonight. Some midway through the season reviews. We have a good panel with us as always. We're going to bring in the usual suspect first, Jason.
Adam, how you doing?
Good yourself, buddy.
I am doing well. Thank you very much. I'm doing a lot better knowing that my beloved LA Dodgers ended the first half of the season sweeping the dastardly LA Angels of Anaheim, of Riverside County, of Temecula County. And then they also took 3 out of 4 from your Pittsburgh Pirates. I'm sorry about that. But we end the first half of the season on a high note. Hopefully we can carry that over into the second half of the season and keep it going.
And once again, the Pittsburgh Pirates had the first pick tonight, and we'll talk about that, I'm sure, because, we're a good team.
Yes, you are. Competitive.
Right. Jay, we're going to bring in your fellow Green Bay fan tonight.
Nice. Bring him on.
I am.
Hey, guys.
Woo-hoo. Hey, Mark, my fellow Packers fan.
As a diehard Royals fan, I'm hoping we talk a lot of Packers tonight.
Yeah. Oh, come on, Mark. Glass half full perspective here.
We don't even have a glass, dude.
Oh, Mark, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
I'm doing good. Just trying to get through this. The Pirates are showing signs of back to normal. And and we're going to bring on one more guest as we have tonight. And we have not talked to him since, I'm going to say, close to the beginning of the season. Mr. Ryan making a guest appearance tonight.
Hey, Ryan.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good.
Hey, Ryan. Glad to have you back, man. We missed you.
Yeah. Hopefully I can get on more regularly. It's just been life's hectic. So.
Right. It is for all of us.
You got the move going on. Apparently, you backstage, you told us you're looking into a house, ready to seal the deal on that.
She's mine. On the 20th, she's mine.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Awesome. Congratulations, man. That's good.
I get to move, but one more time.
Well, they say you move about 11 times in your lifetime.
Oh, I've crushed that number.
All right.
All right. Too, but I'm done.
Broke all odds. Gotcha. Oh man. So Ryan, I haven't talked to you in a while. How are your Phillies doing?
Slow start to the season. Pitching staff wasn't quite up to speed yet, which is generally expected of a team that makes a deep postseason run. Your arms show a little bit of fatigue. Wheeler didn't come out looking great. Nola still very up and down, but he's better than what he was in the beginning. Alvarado's been on the IL twice. So the pitching in the beginning of the season was a concern, but the bats were actually hitting the ball well in every aspect of the game except for one. They couldn't hit with runners in scoring position. I think they were top 5 in the NL in average the first month of the season, but they were middle of the pack in runs scored, so which has still been a bit of an issue. But everything's kind of leveled out now. The Phillies are playing where I thought they would. Just a slow start really killed this team.
Did Roy? How bad was the Hoskins loss for the year?
You guys have heard my pieces on Rhys Hoskins and his frustrating and lack of clutch gene that he has. I mean, over the course of a 162 game season, that's 30 home runs and 90 RBIs gone from the lineup. So, however, the silver lining in the cloud is Bryce Harper should be ready to play first base by the return of baseball after the All-Star break. So maybe, we don't miss a beat in the bats from the first base production there. Hopefully Bryce Harper can get his power numbers going.
I did pick up Hall. Is he doing anything?
I would set your expectations a lot. Yeah, I would set your expectations a lot lower than what they are. I don't know how low they were, but make them lower.
He started out hot. I read he was supposed to fill in for Hoskins all year, and then he went on the IL. So
yeah, and then Cody Clemens, went on a bit of a stretch there for a little bit where he played solid defensively, but he had a couple of nicely timed hits. But overall, neither one of those guys are any kind of long-term solution at first base. And quite frankly, Rhys Hoskins is just showing quite how valuable he is to the Philadelphia Phillies.
He's very valuable. Mark, you
Yes.
guys got the big win today.
Finally. It's been a rough go, but I was just telling you guys before the show, the Royals have faced Shane Bieber. Sorry.
Shane Bieber.
Wrong
Wow.
Beaver.
This is his 15th career start against the Royals, and today was the first time the Royals have ever won one of those games. I thought that was
That's
unbelievable even for
mind-blowing.
us, but yeah. It's a good way to end up the
Wow.
first half, I guess.
Wow. And
It's just been a miserable go for the Royals this season. Bobby Witt Jr., he's been playing well. We had a couple of Vinny Pasquantino was doing well, but then he had an injury. He's out for the season. Some of the young bats are not coming around like we were hoping for. MJ Melendez is hitting 208. He's in right field now. So that's why the Royals took a catcher in the first round. They took the kid out of Texas. He was the player of the year, Blake Mitchell out of Sinton, Texas. He was the Texas player of the year the last 2 years in a row. They took him. I expect him to eventually take over when Salvador Perez decides that he can't do it anymore. Melendez was supposed to be that guy, but like I said, he's hitting 208 and they have him playing right field now. So they don't really have the heir apparent at catcher. So that, everything for the Royals is down the road. This year's pretty well toast, and I don't see it really getting any better.
Jay.
Yeah.
I know you just whooped up on the Pirates and you're very excited about it. I don't see why. But anyway.
Well, I'm very excited about it because my Dodgers had a horrible road trip before their last homestand before the end of the first half of the season where we took
Who'd they
2
lose
out of
to,
3.
Jason?
I'm sorry? Oh, yeah.
The other guys in blue.
Oh, yeah, that team in blue. I'm sorry. Yeah, that was highlighted by losing that series 2 out of 3 to the Royals, which I was watching every game in that series. And let me tell you, Mark, I was throwing beer bottles, plastic cups, everything against the TV saying, what the F are you doing, Dodgers? But I feel a whole lot better now after this recent homestand in the first half of the season, like I mentioned, Adam, or like you mentioned. They took 3 out of 4 from the Pirates, which was good for them, and they just swept the Angels. In fact, they outscored the Angels 20-9 in that brief little 2-game jaunt they had yesterday and the day before. So despite all of the bumps and bruises the Dodgers have endured throughout the first half of the season, despite all of the inconsistent play, both offensively and defensively, and given the fact that their pitching staff right now is being held together with Gorilla Glue, I would say that the Dodgers today are actually in first place, just percentage points above the Diamondbacks because Arizona lost today to the Mets, I think. All things being what they are, the Dodgers couldn't be in a better position than what they are right now.
I hate getting out of work late. I'm so usually I have all this shit written down. Sorry, guys. Yes, the Dodgers are in first place.
You know what's crazy? Freddie Freeman has 12 stolen bases this year.
Right?
Everyone's running,
Nuts.
baby.
I know.
The bases easier to get to.
I know. I never thought I would live to see Freeman steal 5 bases, let alone 12, but that's great. Right there, that number puts him in the MVP race just right there, Ryan.
I mean, you laugh, but honestly,
No, I'm being above
He's
that.
there.
When you look at all of Freeman's other offensive categories, he's top 3 in the league in average, top 3 in the league in on-base percentage, top 3 in the league in slugging percentage, top 3 in the league in plus WRC, I believe, top 5 in the league in OBPS. I mean, this really, you could make an argument this is Freeman's best all-around season in his career, and that's saying a lot given the great career he had with the Braves.
yeah. And, as a Phillies fan, I'm not, sad that he's gone. But at the same time, hearing how it went down, that's got to be a little irritating. Not for
Yeah.
you and Dodgers fans, of course. I'm sure you guys don't
Yeah.
give a shit how it went down. But
Oh, we could care less.
Yeah.
We got him.
You're going to stay healthy. Is he going to be a 40-80 man?
If he stays healthy, yeah. There was a little bit of concern last night because Dave Roberts took him out of the game early, and I think it was in the 4th or the 5th inning, and he kind of went into first base a little awkwardly on his ankle, and Dave automatically removed him and put in Yanni Hernandez in his place in the lineup. And after the game, Dave was kind of coy about why he took him out, but then Freddie was actually interviewed and said, "No, nothing's wrong with me. I'm fine." So I guess because they were up big at that point against the Angels, Dave just decided to play it safe and took him out, which I agree with, because, when you see a runner go into first base and kind of roll his ankle a little bit, you're obviously going to cringe and you're going to be concerned, especially when he's one of the top 5 or 6 players in the entire Major League Baseball organization. So, yeah, I agreed with Dave taking him out. Better to be safe than sorry, because they're going to need him for that stretch run.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep. It's kind of like a similar incident with the Phillies and Bryce Harper.
Yep.
Getting clunked on a surgically repaired elbow. Nothing extraneous. It was only 90 miles an hour, but you don't want to take a chance.
Right.
That still sounds like it would hurt.
Yeah. I wouldn't volunteer to take 90 off the elbow.
No, I don't think anyone would volunteer to take 90 off the elbow. So what are you guys thinking about the trade rumors for your teams?
Who wants to go first?
Sellers? Mark's selling. I'm selling.
I'm selling, absolutely.
I don't know. Like, the Phillies can't do a whole lot because their farm system just isn't that good. Like, again, it hasn't been good for years, and this is the product of that. When you go out and you make a name for yourself through big free agent signings, it doesn't do a whole lot for your farm system, So I can't even fathom the idea that Nick Abel or Andrew Painter are being moved in any sort of trade talks this offseason, or during the season.
Mark, I thought the Royals were trying to move Barbaro and Chapman in a deal, in a package. That not happen? Obviously,
no. Chapman went to Texas already.
Yeah, Chapman's gone.
Barlow he's been up and down. His ERA is over 4 right now. But when you've got a team ERA of 5.32, there's really not a whole lot that other people are looking at. We've got Amir Garrett. He's at 3.33. He's a decent left-hander out of the bullpen. Jose Cuas, he's pitched fairly well. Barlow, I think, he's got some talent, and I think that there are teams that will look at him. I don't know if they're going to look at him as a closer like what the Royals have him doing, or if he would be like a seventh, 8th inning guy. But he's got some value. And, really out of the starting rotation, Jordan Lyles is 1-11 with a 6.42 ERA. So I don't think anybody's really jumping after him. And the rest of the guys outside of Zach Greinke, they're the younger guys that you're still hoping are going to pan out. But, we had in the 2018 draft, the Royals took 4 guys in the first 4 pitchers in the first 50 picks of that draft. And the only one that's really doing anything right now is Daniel Lynch. And he's only made 8 starts this year. He was injured for a while. But, out of those 4, he's the only one that's doing anything. So that has set the team back. And I think part of that is the organizational pitching philosophy, which was generated from Cal Eldred. So when he got fired as the pitching coach at the end of the last season, I was hoping that would help. And I think it has, but there's still a lot to get through as a result of all of that, because it's been ingrained in these guys for years, and they've got to get over that and change their tendencies, change their vision on pitching altogether.
I could
hold on 1 second, Ryan. I am bringing in my Miami consultant, Mr. Alex.
Hey, Alex.
Cheers, guys. What's up? How you doing?
What's up, Alex? How are you?
Man, I'm gonna go ahead and go straight to it, man. It feels really fucking good to see the Marlins playing the way that they're playing. It's been such a long time. I hear Ryan talking about the Phillies. They went to the World Series last year. Shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? They're right behind. They're on our tail. They're coming for us. But this was I don't want to say it was a make it or break it series for the Fish, But damn, it felt good going into the break to take 2 out of 3 out of Philadelphia, especially when they came into Miami on a hot streak, 12 games in a row, hot as shit. And then they said, "Hey, pump your brakes, kid." All right, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna say that the Phillies didn't go out there and win the first game of the series. They did, like they definitely did. But that home run, man, it was just a couple inches. You know, it could have been a sweep. I'm just saying it could have been a sweep, Ryan. So, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, I mean, even hitting a fly ball that far coming off the bench, you know, you do pinch hitting's hard as shit in baseball, and come off the bench and, you know, hit a 410-foot drive to center field after only seeing 2 pitches, you know, especially off a guy like Puck.
Hell yeah. And I mean, like, don't get it twisted. Like Christian Pache last year, he was playing for the Athletics, but the year before that, he was playing for the Braves. So he knows what it is to really win, be around a winning environment. And like I looked at his numbers compared to what he's doing this year. Like he's got a respectable batting average. He's batting over 300. You know what I'm saying? For the part-time position he has, he's doing a good job. He's doing what the Phillies are asking out of him. And like you got so much offense in that lineup. I mean, something's got to rub off on you, right? Especially after coming from the Oakland Athletics when you had nobody backing you up. So
I expect to see more regular at bats from him when Bryce Harper moves to first. It'll take Schwarber line up and free up left field, which, I mean, the way Pache is swinging the bat, you know, that's just another guy in the lineup, really.
Absolutely. And you know what? Like, speaking of Harper, like, I know this guy came in here, like, Bryce Harper's Bryce Harper. Everybody knows who Bryce Harper is, MVP. But damn, like, you got a tip of the cap. The guy came back early from a Tommy John surgery. He still hasn't found that pop, so to speak. But you know what I'm saying? It's kind of it's good to see that guy. Like, you wish there was more ball players like that. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of guys that like want to sit it out. You know, for example, Avisail Garcia, Marlins outfielder. We gave him a big contract, 4 years, $60 million, and he's sitting out for the past month and a half talking about, oh, my finger hurts. Fuck out of here, dude.
Play the game, right?
So what's up, Jason? How about those Dodgers?
How about those Dodgers, man? Good to meet you.
Man.
How about those
Likewise,
fish,
man.
man?
How about the who?
How about those fish, man? Those Marlins.
Man.
Who would have thought?
You would have told me that we were going to be sitting in the position we're sitting in right now, the 3rd best record in the National League. I would tell you crazy. We're without our Jazz Chisholm, the cover of MLB, the show.
Right.
We're without him. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's been yelling and screaming that we need another bat. We need another bat. You know, but here we are, man. We're in the thick of it. I don't want to get my hopes up too much because I've been around for 30 years watching this team doing the good times and the bad. But I'll tell you, this team is special just because they're playing baseball. It's not about it's not no ego shit. It's like the hitting coach for the Marlins, Brant Brown. He was talking about he bought some like batons, and it's basically like this is the mentality we got to have. Like you got a baton, and the baton is about getting the baton to the next person. Let the guy behind you do the work. Don't think that you got to hit a grand slam or a home run every single time. So, like, you really like to see the way that this team is gelling, coming together. Shout out to Skip Schumacher, the Marlins manager this year. Like, it got me saying Don Mattingly, who thank God we shipped them out to Toronto.
Right. Well, you know,
Logan when we need him. Skip Schumacher.
Right. Right. So
I mean, that name resonates with me in the most painful way humanly possible because of Game 5 in 2011.
You asked me about my Dodgers, Alex, and I was just telling everybody else here before you chimed in that given the bumps and bruises the Dodgers have endured this season, they played some of the most inconsistent baseball of any other team in the majors so far this year. They've ended the first half on a really high. Mookie Betts right now is on another planet. The guy is insane, and I actually think the All-Star break is bad for Mookie because it destroys that momentum that he's on right now. But Betts and Freeman are the best 1-2 punch in baseball, and that is not even up for debate. I don't even want to hear another debate about the best 1 and 2 because Betts and Freeman are the best. But given the fact that our 5/5 of our starting rotation is either on the injured list or has spent time on the injured list, it's being held together with Gorilla Glue. I think all things being equal, with those inconsistencies, with all the injuries that we have, we are in first place today. By a fraction of a statistic point above the Diamondbacks because they lost to the Mets today. So given all those inconsistencies, all the injuries, all of the bad mojo we've been hearing about this team from the local media down in LA, that we're in first place right now with the roster we have is pretty darn good. And I'm actually going to give Dave Roberts some credit because even though I'm one of Dave's biggest critics, that he's been able to kind of keep this thing together and keep these guys focused is pretty good too. So right now I'm feeling as good about the Dodgers as I have all season long.
Hey man, you guys have been able to stay afloat. You know what I'm saying? They're right on our neck too for that wild card lead. So I'm gonna go ahead and say this, man. Shout out to the Dodgers front office for taking Miguel Rojas out of here.
Well, and you know what, Alex? Alex, I will tell you this.
Yeah.
I will tell you this, Alex.
Didn't he?
Shout out to the Miami Marlins for selecting Kim Ng as their vice president and general manager, because she was the assistant general manager under Ned Colletti in Los Angeles with the Dodgers for 6 years. And your guys' hitting coach, Brant Brown, was an assistant hitting coach for the Dodgers, and he went to my alma mater, Fresno State, out here in Fresno, California. So you owe a little bit of something to Fresno for bringing the hitting coach out there to South Beach, buddy.
Hey man, I love Dodger Stadium. It's beautiful. I really love that backdrop view. Like, I got nothing but love for the Dodgers. I feel like we're like, if the Marlins can identify themselves or try to compare themselves to somebody in the National League, it's got to be the Dodgers. I mean, our backbone's always been pitching. So shout out to y'all. I feel like Kim Ng, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, she's doing her thing now here in South Florida. Ever since Jeter left, the only thing that Jeter really did good here was change the color of the walls from lime green to blue. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, man, shout out to. Yeah, I know it looked a little bit more like Yankee blue, but hey, it's easier on the eyes. It's easier on the eyes.
Right.
Let me go around the table real quick here, man. Mark, I see you're a Royals guy.
Yes, I am. And are you going to give me any sympathy for that?
Man, listen, man. No, I mean, like, I see the Royals. They got some players on there, man. Is there a realistic shot? Like, I made a tweet the other day talking about the Marlins need to go get a bat, somebody to compliment this team. Like, I feel like we're all gelling, but there's a guy on the Royals that really
Bobby Witt
he's intriguing. Jr. No, obviously everybody wants Bobby Witt. No, but I got to go under the radar because I'm not trying to unload the whole farm system. I like Michael Garcia, a young stud from Venezuela. 23 years old, plays third,
he's
short,
been playing
second.
Well since they got him in at third base.
Yeah, man. Any chance that maybe we can, like, you know what I'm saying, take him off your hands?
Well, I was just telling these guys that, you know, with the team that we've got, pretty much everybody is on the table except probably Salvador Perez.
See, Sal's another guy. Like, I was having a conversation with somebody locally the other day. They're like, we need Salvador Perez. And I was like, listen, man, I feel what they're saying as Marlins fans. Excuse me. But ain't no way in hell that the Royals are just going to give away Sal. Like, Sal's Mr. Royal. You know what I'm saying?
I think he's a Royal forever. He's the captain. He's the first guy that's been a captain for the Royals since Mike Sweeney before him.
Yeah,
so,
man. I
think Perez and Bobby Witt are probably the untouchables, and everybody else is a make an offer kind of thing.
Yeah, I heard stuff about, like, Nicky Lopez and Michael Garcia. So, like, that's why I was like, Michael Garcia, man. What is it that the Royals really need? Like, besides, I know they need a shitload of, like, they need a miracle, right? But what do you think? Just looking at it, like, oh, all right, we need this to, like, help the team. What do you think it is?
Well, first off, they need all the young hitters to actually be who we thought they were. But like I was telling these guys before, our pitching staff has a 5.3 something ERA, and you know we've got a guy in the starting rotation who's 1-11 with a 6.42 ERA. Brady Singer has a 5.8. Zach Greinke's at 5.44. He's 1-9. So, you know, we need pitching, and we need the pitchers to come through and actually do something, and they haven't.
You know, hopefully Kim Ng's listening to this thing and she can, like, ring the bell over there and be like, yo, you guys want a pitcher from the minors? You know, we got a plethora of pitchers, so whatever works.
Yeah, we'll take it. And I'm loving that Minnesota Twins hat you're wearing.
I'm out of here.
That's a Marlins hat. Right?
That's from the old era. That's from the old regime. You know what I'm saying? I usually wear the throwback Florida Marlins, you know, but
usually
I was
just like what you're wearing.
Yeah, I was just, you know, honestly, I woke up the past couple of days a little bit, like, caught up in my feelings because I was thinking about Jose Fernandez, RIP. So that's one of the only reasons why I really rock it out, you know what I'm saying, because of Jose Fernandez and Mike Stanton or Giancarlo. You know,
yeah.
so
the new Twins hat looks just like that, though.
Yeah, they copied us.
It's got that same M. It's horrible that they did that.
Yeah, actually it does. You're right.
The only thing that I can tell you about the Twins is shout out to them. You know, it hurt to get rid of Pablo Lopez, but we got Luis Arraez, who's batting 388 in mid-July. Like, this is crazy. Like, another countryman of mine. Like, I'm so proud. I'm like, I can't believe this guy's really embraced to be a Miami Marlin. Like, he hit the first cycle in franchise history. We've been around for 31 years. You know how crazy that is? We've thrown five perfect games or 5 no-hitters, and this guy finally came into town and he did it against the Phillies. Shout out to Ryan and the Phillies.
Hey, speaking of perfect games in the Marlins, Roy Halladay.
Oh man, I was at that game. I wasn't even mad. I ain't even mad at that, bro. I was in college and a homie of mine said, "We gotta go see the Fighting Phils." And I was like, "Fuck it, let's make the drive." I was Orlando to Miami's 3.5 hours. So I was like, "Let's do it, dude." Roy Halladay on the mound, definitely. But I would have never thought he was gonna throw that perfect game, man, or the no hitter, whatever it was. But it was amazing. It was a hell of a game.
Wasn't his best outing either. From a peripheral standpoint, wasn't a great outing.
Hey, it wasn't a great Marlins team either.
Hey man, I watched Dan Uggla and Hanley Ramirez kill Cole Hamels for years.
Oh,
yeah. That was a squad, huh? We had a bunch of rookies. Joe Girardi was the manager. There's a connection there, another Philly Marlin connection. Joe Girardi came in first year as manager.
Really quickly.
Hey, the shout out to with Mark too and Jorge Soler.
Oh man, Jorge Soler, what a bounce back year, bro. Last year he hurt his back and shit, but this year he's on a tear. 23. Watch your mouth. 23.
Hey, I'll be here with it.
Yeah.
They're playing tonight,
and Jason,
they're on the Saturday night game, right?
We already won. But real quick, Jason, going back to the Dodgers.
Yeah.
You were talking about the best 1-2 punch and Mookie and Freeman. Like, yeah, I'll give you credit, but like we're right behind them with Luis Arraez and Jorge Soler.
Arraez and Soler are good, and I won't argue that they aren't, and they are great. With Arraez, it's been fun to watch him hit. Staying at or near 400 for most of the season is a fantastic feat, given the era of baseball that we're in right now, with a lot of power pitching, a lot of strikeout guys, not high inning guys, but just guys who throw a lot of heat in this day and age. And for Soler, look, Soler is like any other hitter. He's going to be prone to his hot streaks, prone to his cold streaks. But when he's hot, he is hot. But I think the reason I argue, Alex, is because when you look at consistency and when you look at guys who maintain that level of consistency over a majority of the season, it's hard to argue against Mookie and Freeman. And look, Mookie, to his credit, started off the year terrible. I mean, he was swinging at a lot of stuff that was outside off the plate. Teams were throwing him a lot of sliders and a lot of breaking balls outside off the corner of the plate that he was swinging and missing at, and they thought they had him. But Mookie made his adjustments. He started laying off a lot of those terrible pitches lately, and as a result, he has caught fire. He's like a habanero chili right now, man. This guy is so hot. And then with Freeman, I mean, Freeman is a machine. I am just amazed at how every day, even when he goes into a slump, because recently over the last 25 games, I think he was only batting under 200, but he started picking it up a little bit. And when he is in a slump, he doesn't stay in it for long. He is that good of a hitter. So, well, yeah, look, props to Arraez and Soler. They are good. Again, giving them their props. But, I mean, for my money, Mookie and Freeman any day of the week and twice on Sunday. And if Mookie and Freeman were on the Marlins, I would still be saying the same thing about them. It's not because they're in Dodger uniforms. It's because they are the best right now at what they do.
We can't.
I don't know why the hell
we can't sleep on Olsen and Acuna when we're talking about best duos too. I mean, Olsen's got 30 home runs on the season already. So,
and Ronald Acuna is going to be the NL MVP. And let's end the discussion right there about that. You're right. You're right, Ryan.
Acuna.
Yeah, shout out Ryan.
Acuna already wrapped up the AL.
Yeah, honestly, I mean. The NL still has some competition, but if Acuna stays healthy and plays at the pace that he's going, like this might be the most landslide, both league MVP votes we've seen in years.
Yeah.
Even if Arraez hits 400,
wouldn't matter.
Yep.
Just
Doesn't
because it's not sexy enough.
The Braves are the best team in baseball because what Ronald Acuna Jr. is doing.
I just don't like how he's a fucking crybaby. He's always showboating and doing crap. And you can't pitch inside. Hit him, drill him.
Yeah, he's a little too flamboyant for my liking, especially because I was a pitcher. So when I see hitters do shit like that, I'm like, But
bro, if he would have done that, like in the past, like in the 90s, 2000s, Roger Clemens, Randy Johnson, they would have drilled his ass in the ribs.
But,
For real, for real.
Here's what it comes down to: you can walk the walk, talk the talk, do your thing.
Definitely. He's just always crying though. Like he should think, if anything, he should thank the Marlins because he wears an elbow pad because of him. Yo, Jason, going back to Mookie, man, I can't understand why Red Sox Nation wanted to get rid of him so bad. Like all the slander on Mookie. What was up with that? And look at Mookie tearing it up.
Yeah, you know what? I think that situation, it's Ryan, I think hit the nail on the head. It all comes down to money. The Red Sox, obviously their front office has a different, they do business much differently than what the Dodgers do, than what the Phillies do, than what the Royals do. And really the guy to ask about this would be my man Tom and Quincy, who's a diehard Chowder head, who's a diehard Sox fan. He would know better about the Red Sox front office than we would. But Ryan's absolutely right. What it boils down to is Mookie wanted to stay in Boston. He really did. He went to the Red Sox organization and said, I want to stay here. Here's how much you're going to give me to stay here. And when the Red Sox were non-committal on that, they said, all right, it's open season on Mookie. The Dodgers jumped on that opportunity and they took advantage of it. And yeah, you're absolutely right, Alex. They got away with a steal. And when you look at who the Red Sox got in return, Alex Verdugo, I think, has been a good return on investment for them. He's a solid player, not great. Still remains to be seen if he'll be an all-star, but he's been a solid player. Jeter Downs never really panned out for them the way they thought he would, and they ended up shipping Josiah Gray, the pitching prospect, to the Nationals not too soon after they got him. But the point being is that when you look at that overall return, clearly the Dodgers and Mookie won the best of that trade, while it's still anybody's guess with the Red Sox. So, yeah, it all boils down to money, man. That's what it boiled down to.
I feel like there's been a nice history for the Dodgers when they've been making trades recently with the Red Sox. You know, you guys got JD Martinez back in the day. You guys got a Manny Ramirez. Remember, Manny came into LA, he tore it the fuck up. It was wild. Where did he go on? Like 20 home runs and like I don't even know how many games. It was short, like a short amount of games, but he just tore it up. So.
He batted 390 and over his first 58 games and had 58 runs driven in those 58 games. So that's one RBI per game at least that he had. The one trade I will say that I was still iffy on with between the Red Sox and the Dodgers and their franchise's histories was the trade that brought Josh Beckett and Adrian Gonzalez to Los Angeles. Now, Adrian turned out to be a great player for the Dodgers, but Josh Beckett, we were able to get a no-hitter out of him, but he spent more time on the injured list than he spent on the active roster. And unfortunately, Beckett's career ended because of thoracic outlet syndrome and the surgery that followed, and that eventually wiped him out. But yeah, you're right, Alex. I mean, there is that relationship there that the Sox and the Dodgers have from a business standpoint. I think both organizations trust each other to some extent, but they both obviously view things differently. The Dodgers are more analytically driven than what the Red Sox are. So, there is that history there between both of us.
Shout out to Josh Beckett. I can feel you being a little bit salty on it. Like he got no hitter, but like shout out to my guy. Oh, he's over here. He's on this side. Oh shit, I'm blocking him. There he is.
Well, you know what? Beckett had his heyday with your Marlins when he was one of the best big game pitchers in baseball, man, in the postseason. The
Red Sox took it too.
Right.
Red Sox got him at the right time.
And Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Josh Beckett the National League Championship Series MVP for the shutdown performances he had in games 1 and 3 or games 1 and 4?
Yep, sure was.
That's what I thought. So yeah, I mean, you guys had the best of Beckett, and we got all the crap that was left over from all the injuries. So hey, it is what it is.
Shout out to you, Josh.
Right.
I will be right back. There is a fan on somewhere, and it's just thumping in my ear. Can you guys hear it?
No.
If you guys
now that you mentioned it.
I think it's the one upstairs. Can you guys hear that or no?
I can hear it a little bit.
All right, I'm going to shut it off because it's just thumping in my ear like I'm standing behind a drum at a concert. I'll be right back. But anyway, whenever I come back, we're going to go over trade deadline, what everyone should do. The Marlins will leave you on the clock. You can think about it, Alex. I'm selling. I know the Pirates are selling, but they're going to say they're going for it. But even the people they bring in won't be very good.
Yeah, I'm with Adam. We're absolutely selling, and if anybody's willing to take any of the pieces that we've got, I think the Royals ought to try to get whatever they can out of them right now.
I wish the Marlins would have freaking made a call about Chapman. Like, I know we got Puck right now, and you guys got him for a steal. What do you guys signed him for like $5 million or something like that?
Yeah, it wasn't a big deal. And
He totally had the bounce back season he needed to. He went from a last place team to he's right in the thick of it. Those Texas Rangers made a hell of a turnaround. Honestly, I looked at them in the offseason. I was like, damn, they opened up the wallet. I didn't think they were going to have enough to like really. I was like, they're just going to open up the wallet. Look at the Mets. Mets, perfect example. Highest payroll in Major League Baseball. And then I was like, the Rangers, look at them.
I'm so happy that the Mets suck, man, for breaking that, unwritten rule of baseball, going out and shelling $500 million. Like, no,
man,
you deserve this.
Yes, it is.
You deserve this so much.
I think a lot of people are happy to see that happen.
I mean, everybody knows the National League East, baby. The Mets always go Met. You know what the Mets stand for, right?
Yeah, but they metted real early this year. Like from April 1st.
Is Max Scherzer on the trade deadline?
Yeah, we can hop into it. I just wanted to throw this one in here real quick so we can change subjects on the Mets. But the Mets are short for my entire team sucks.
Mark the Fets.
Brutal.
Well, all right, who wants to start it off? What does your team need?
Scherzer
Is
already
Max
said
Scherzer on the trade
trade clause.
$43 million. It's not easy to take on, but you know what I'm saying? What's you only owe him $20 million now. So I can feel like the Mets could move him if they wanted to move him. If like it's not a money thing. At the end of the day, if a contender really wants to go out and win it, we can look past history. Like when the Houston Rockets, look at me. I'm sorry, the Coronas are kicking in. When the Houston Astros,
the one was great.
when the Houston Astros once had they signed some guy named Roger Clemens during July, and they signed him, I don't know if it was like $15 or $20 million to play for half of a season, and he came in, the Rocket came in and won the Cy Young Award. I don't know if you guys remember that. So I could definitely see like a Scherzer getting traded somewhere to another contender. Watch him end up back as a Dodger again. You know what I'm saying? I know he had a good time as a Dodger. Like he wanted to try to get the Mets over the hump, but obviously it's not working. I don't know what the hell's going on with Verlander either, but blow it up. I don't care. Yeah, blow it up. Fuck the Mets. I'm sorry for I'm trying to keep it PG.
It's going to be hard for Steve Cohen to pull the trigger on any deal that sells Max Scherzer or anybody really, because if you go out and you make the moves that they made this past offseason and shell out so much money, and then you don't even let that thing develop for a full season and you start selling guys off, that sends a real message to the organization, sends a message to your fan base. It's a real quitter attitude.
Yeah, but you could pull the plug. Like I feel what you're saying. Like the fan base is not going to like it, but I think the fan base is more likely to accept trading a Max Scherzer who's reaching 40, if he's not already 40, as opposed to treating a Pete Alonso. Like if you trade a Pete Alonso, then I can see Citi Field turning into Shitty Field and a ride outside. But that being said, like, it wouldn't be the first time a team, opens up the wallet. The Marlins are a perfect example. Back in 2012, we opened up the wallet. We got we signed the Jose Reyes from the Mets, Mark Burley from the White Sox. We signed the plethora of players. And then we were in November, one season into it. And what did they do? They blew it up. They shipped half the team to Toronto. The Toronto Blue Jays became the Toronto Marlins. And we accepted a bunch of young kids that, like, we had a chance to accept a Noah Syndergaard, which we didn't get. We passed on. We got some guy named Justin Nicolino, left-handed, who did absolutely nothing for our team. The only guy that really stood out in that whole trade was Henderson Alvarez, who, it was always hurt. But shout out to him. At least he threw a no-hitter for us. So don't be afraid to pull the plug, especially when you got that type of wallet, like the owner of the Mets, Steve Cohen. Do it. Pull it out, pull the plug, say, fuck it, I got the money. You already showed the whole league. You're not afraid to open the wallet. I mean, it's easy to say when it's not your money, right? But why not? What the hell? If he really wants to bring if he really wants to bring this back to New York, he's going to have to, figure it out, baby. That's the facts.
I'm with Ryan, though. It really sends a bad message to your fans that maybe you don't know how to evaluate people. If you can, if you're going to throw that kind of money out and then get that kind of performance out of them, it reflects on your front office and their ability to make sense out of what they're doing.
Yeah. I understand why Scherzer would need to be dealt. It just sends I think it sends a wrong message in the worst way. But Phillies should buy a
So we're the-
pitcher. Not Max Scherzer, but they should get a pitcher.
I think it would be tough for the Mets to I know they're gonna trade, but I think it would be tough for them to trade within the division. You know what I'm saying? Like, personally speaking, as a Marlins fan, it hurt when we traded JT Realmuto to the Phillies, and we got nothing to show for it. So
Sixto's still young.
Sixto, bro, we haven't heard about Sixto since 2020. He's been thrown at 120 feet for the past 2 years. Like, come on.
I know that. I mean, for what he turned into, I'm glad we made the deal. But I was gun shy at that too. I was like, "Are we ready for JT Realmuto?" But we had Bryce Harper at that point, so we kind of had to. That's one of those shots you got to shoot, really.
So
yeah,
is
actually,
Lucas,
before he
Go
went on
ahead.
the IL, I was looking, kind of hoping that the Phillies would go pick up Zach Greinke.
I don't know. Greinke's he
He doesn't
he
have the
has his
numbers
good
this
days,
year.
but then he just implodes.
do you
He
think
doesn't
he'd
have
be
the
doing
numbers
better
this
if he was on a better team, Mark? Like, he got
That's
traded to
kinda
the
what I'm
Phillies. Do you
thinking.
think that would help him?
There's been a lot of his losses that are run support issues. He's had a lot of games where he's either gotten 1 run, 2 runs, or no runs. His only win was a combined shutout. So, he's 1-9, 5.44 ERA. But I think if I remember right, in the games where he's won, his ERA is 3 something. And in the games where he's lost, it's up around 7 somewhere.
Yeah,
So
and
it's been really hit and miss with him, and the velocity is not there. And
well, I don't
I
think the
think
velocity
I think
been
this
there
is his last year.
7 years.
Can I chime in real quick?
Years, but
Greinke's had a great career. I always remember him as a Royal. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully they throw him into Royals Hall of Fame one day. I think that goes without question. But that being said, he's won a lot of big games. He helped the Royals get over the hump, win a World Series. But
he
he's
was
just
gone
been this
by then.
type
We
of.
traded
Yeah,
him.
he was
Oh,
on
my
the-
bad. Damn, my bad. But
We
you
got
get with
Lorenzo
the.
Kane. Lorenzo
But
Kane, and
what I was-
Alcides Escobar out of him.
That's right. But what I was trying to get at with Greinke was he was a great pitcher and everything, but he himself has actually said it. He doesn't like playing in a big city. Like, he doesn't like that pressure. What was it that he was at? That it just didn't work for him. I forget. He was an Astro. He was a Royal. Where else did he play?
He was in
Oh, he
Milwaukee.
was a Dodger.
He was
He
a
was
Dodger.
He was in Milwaukee. He's been around.
He's been
So-
around, but yeah, he retired at one point because of the anxiety
Uh,
component. of it.
Greinke,
Exactly.
yeah, Greinke also had a stint with the Angels too, guys.
Yeah, he did.
There you go. So I could see, if he got traded to Philadelphia, no way. The Philly fans will eat him up. They'll eat him like those Philly cheesesteaks. They'll kill him. I don't think that anxiety is gonna kill him. The poor guy's not gonna you just gotta. There's a point where you gotta learn the player's personality, and he just likes to work in a small market. Like, maybe the Marlins say, "Hey, you want Cueto?" and we take him, and he feels cool playing at Marlins Park with 10,000 fans. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like he
has
would be
recovered
better
from some of that.
be a
Go
lot
ahead.
better in those small marketplaces.
Yeah,
Definitely not a
fans
Yankee.
used to try to get on him really bad, and he's recovered from some of that, so it doesn't affect him as much as what it did when he was younger. But he's an interesting guy, and he's fun to watch. And he'll hit the pitch calm, and then shake himself off. He does interesting stuff like that you don't see from anybody else.
So is Lucas Giolito going anywhere? Apparently he's the number 1 on the trade rumors site that I looked
Man,
at.
the Chicago White Sox have been a disaster. We all thought that they were going to turn the corner there in the COVID season, with Luis Robert leading the way, and Tony La Russa did everything in his power to bring that whole organization to the ground, and even now that he's gone,
Including falling asleep in the dugout.
that was embarrassing.
Yeah, the White Sox are not quite Met level of implosion, but they are not anything close to what they thought they were going to be this year.
They play in a weak ass
gonna go-
division too.
I think he's going to go. From what I've read and heard, the White Sox are, even in that lame division that they're in, they're pretty much raising the white flag. And so from what I understand, their front office has said it's open season for everybody, with the exception of a couple of guys. I think Robert is one of them, and I think Lurie Garcia, I think he is the other guy that they're not really willing to trade. But Giolito, I think, is tradable. Liam Hendricks is tradable at this point. And then some of the other guys like Kendall Graveman is tradable too. So it sounds like the White Sox are ready to light the dumpster fire here if they haven't already.
They got some interesting pieces. Robert is a hell of an outfielder. He hasn't had the batting average that he should. Tim Anderson's another interesting piece that you feel like would complement on another team anyway.
He's done awful this year.
Awful, but still, maybe a change of scenery helps him out.
I think Tim Anderson to me.
Just talking asking that.
Well, Tim Anderson to me is the most interesting trade piece out there on the market this midseason, guys, because even though he's having a down year, I mean, you've seen what he's done in the past, and he can be a catalyst on any team if he gets hot at the right time, assuming he stays healthy as well. He is a fiery guy. He's a flamboyant guy. He brings a lot of excitement to the game. And so if you're a GM and a manager looking to infuse those types of traits into your team, that would be great. But like you just said, Adam, he's not having a great year this season. So if you're trading for Tim Anderson, if I'm a GM, I'm definitely not going to give up the farm for him. Maybe one prospect, maybe two, and probably a mid-level guy on my current 40-man roster. But I have a feeling the White Sox are going to be asking for a dump truck size haul in exchange for him, which to me would be overplaying their hand. So it'll be interesting to see how much they ask for Tim Anderson and to see who's willing to tip over the boat to get that much for him.
I see a couple fits for him, like just based off of you and me. Like I can see him being a fit for the Dodgers, who need a shortstop. I see him being a fit for the Marlins, who need a shortstop. So who knows?
Well, didn't you just lose your shortstop?
Vargas
just get sent down or went on the IL or something. I saw.
Well, Miguel Vargas just got sent down today. Chris Taylor, who hasn't really played a lot of shortstop anyway, has been on the IL for a while. He's going to be activated off after post All-Star break. But yeah, they could definitely use Tim Anderson. I won't lie about that. I don't necessarily want him. I don't think he would fit in with what the Dodgers are doing, to be honest with you. And I would lie if I told you I didn't want his talent. I want his talent there, but I think it would be hard for him to get along in that clubhouse, given the unique structure that they have there right now. I just don't know if he would rub off well on the other players or if they would rub off well on him. It's hard to tell.
Jay, you also talked about you don't want Max Muncy to play third. Would Jamar Candelario be a trade option from Washington?
Absolutely. For a half-season rental, I think Jeimer Candelario would be a good substitute fill-in option for them for the time being. Doesn't provide a lot of pop at bat. He does tend to slap a lot of line drives here and there, and that's really what the Dodgers need a lot of. I mean, when you look at this team and how they score runs, it's predicated on two things: home runs and on-base percentage. And if they're doing neither of the two, they couldn't even score at a high school prom. So they need to get they need to do a better job of getting hits on a regular basis. And even though they've done well with batting average, with runners in scoring position and 2 outs, that's been one of the few things they've done well offensively. They're just such a hot and cold team when it comes to just spraying line drives here and there. So Candelario would do that for them. Defensively, he would be an upgrade over Muncy, although not by that much. But yeah, for a half-season rental, I would take him. Absolutely.
Apparently, Washington has a very high. Go ahead, Rye. Sorry.
Speaking of half-season rentals, one guy that's on the trade block that high risk, high reward, as we've seen in the past, Jack Flaherty.
I was just going to say there's Flaherty and Montgomery coming out of St. Louis.
I would like to see the Phillies take a run at Flaherty. Like, yes, obviously the risk is there. The dude hasn't pitched a full season since 2019, but at the same time, all of his numbers are good. And the last 2 starts he's had since he came back off the IL, excellent. 0 runs allowed. So, he could really shore up the rotation in Philadelphia. It's not going to cost you a whole lot because comes with injury concern and no contract at the end of the season.
Wouldn't want Jordan Montgomery
really intriguing
to look
name.
at.
That's a guy I didn't even think about. Skip would love somebody like that.
Especially because he's a Cardinal.
Right? There has to be some Cardinal pull going on here with Skip.
Definitely push those buttons.
Speaking of Skip, tomorrow is my son Skipper's birthday. birthday. I just want to throw that one out there.
Hey, happy
Tomorrow.
upcoming birthday.
Gold
How's the
shit.
young boy
in the
turn?
desert.
You have to be careful with those injury risk guys because Jason, I'm sure you remember Danny Duffy coming over from the Royals to the Dodgers.
Yeah, he was a great impact reliever for us in the bullpen. Yeah, I remember that one all right. Mm-hmm.
You mean the side sessions he threw?
Yeah, those side sessions were very impactful for us, and his 0 appearances out of the bullpen made all the difference in the world.
Yep.
Didn't you guys get a guy
I
off
love
Pittsburgh
Duffy
that
when
was
he was at the
arrested when he
Royals.
got off the plane?
I'm sorry?
Didn't you guys get a guy off Pittsburgh that was arrested off the plane?
No, you're thinking of is it Felipe Paulino or something?
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
are you kidding? We didn't get him. He was one of the reasons why we didn't get him. The Dodgers saw the writing on the wall with that dope. No way, man. And that's, if you recall, a few years back, the Dodgers actually had a trade in place where they would have had Aroldis Chapman when he was still in his prime with the Yankees. But the reason why they nixed that trade was because Chapman had a domestic violence assault charge hanging over his head. And Andrew Friedman said, I don't want to deal with that. I don't care how good the guy is. Get rid of him. And so they nixed the trade. The trade was announced. It was completed. And then when Friedman found out about that domestic violence charge against Chapman, he said, forget it. I don't want him. Get rid of him. And so he ended up going to Cincinnati, I think it was, and the rest is history.
Man, I'll tell you what, the rise and fall of Aroldis Chapman. I remember when he was still in Cuba and everybody was deeming him the next big thing, calling him the Cuban Missile and all that, man. Like
They still do.
I'll tell you what, man, the rise and fall from the prospects he was to how great he started his career, that dude has become a problem.
I mean, there's a lot of allegations. I'm gonna go down this lane right here.
I'm not even talking about off the field stuff. This is a guy, Aroldis Chapman, who the Yankees basically told to go home because he was missing sessions at the team center. This guy's a problem.
I mean, you got to look at maybe like, I feel what you're saying 100%. Like he needed to be more of a professional, and it was the right move by the Yankees. I hate the Yankees, so yeah, I'll say that again. I hate the Yankees, but it was the right move. Like you want a guy, you're paying this guy the big bucks. He's got to be a professional, and it was his fault that he flew to Miami, and he hung out with his family, and he missed a mandatory workout. And then they told him, hey, you know how to count? Well, don't count on us and don't dress yourself because you're not coming with us no more. That was like a vicious, cutthroat move from the Yankees, right? And then everybody said, oh, it's over for Aroldis. But I knew deep down inside it wasn't. I knew somebody was going to roll the dice on him. Shout out to the Royals. They rolled the dice on him, had him. He performed. He had some good numbers. And look at him now. Now he's a Ranger. So you don't know what's going to happen. And the guy was loyal. People don't talk about this, but the guy was loyal to the New York Yankees. Yeah, he was a Cincinnati Red. He signed with the Yankees. The Yankees shipped him over to the Cubs. He helped the Cubs win a World Series, and he was so faithful that he re-signed with the Yankees in the offseason, right? He helped the Yankees get a Gleyber Torres, right? But people don't talk about that. And then all of a sudden, the Yankees turn their back on him. They say, hey, they flip him off, right? They tell him, big F you. And look at them now. They said nobody's going to sign you because of the whole allegations about off the field stuff too. Like, oh, with his wife, he put a couple shots up in the garage. Like, at the end of the day, the guy didn't get arrested. It was all allegations. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like, do I think he's a Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
No.
Can we look up the numbers? Like, I can't tell you if he's a Hall of Famer or not.
Saves in 14 years.
Give it to him. I think he's going to be in there. If he makes it to over 350, which he's going to do easily, he might even make it to 400. He's helped the Cubs win a World Series. I can't recall if he helped the Yankees win a World Series or not. Watch out if he helps the Rangers. But at the end of the day, who's the last guy? When we think about modern day closers, who has over 300 saves right now? It's like they're dinosaurs.
Kenley Jansen has 400 career saves.
Yeah. Okay, so there's three guys. Give me somebody else.
He's on the trade block too.
Yes, he is.
Yep.
I think
the save is a completely different statistic than it used to be.
Yeah. I just feel like you gotta back up you gotta look at the numbers. Like over 300 saves is important. Like people can't put that to the side. Like there's gonna be a point people talk about current guys that are playing in the big leagues and transitioning over to the Dodgers. Like you look at Freddie Freeman, or he talks about Freddie Freeman. He's gonna be a Hall of Famer. Right? But if you look at his numbers, is he hitting over 400, 500 home runs? I don't think so. I think did he just reach 300?
Yeah, he just reached 300 this past week.
Yeah, so he's still got at least 100 more in the tank. And you know what I'm saying? Is he going to get into the Hall of Fame because he got 400 home runs? I mean, there's guys outside of the Hall of Fame right now that have 400 home runs didn't get in. That's a whole steroid subject that's a whole different subject that we can get into. But it just, you got to look at like the modern day fan. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think it's tough for Chapman though, because closers are fairly neglected when it comes to Hall of Fame voting anyway. I mean, once Mariano, got in, it kind of opened the door for guys like Lee Smith and whatnot. But I don't know that 300 is going to cut it just yet. Like I think he does hit the 400 number.
He hits 375, 400.
Players. Let me give you a couple of different players and their numbers. First guy has a career WAR of 20.2. He's 48 and 37, a 2.46 ERA, 701 career appearances, a little bit over 300 saves. Second guy has a career WAR of 20.5. It's 46 and 52, 327 ERA, pitched exactly 700 games, little over 300 saves. Either of those guys Hall of Famers?
Well, the first one's Chapman.
The first one's Chapman. The second one is Jeff Montgomery.
A former Kansas City Royal.
Former Royal.
Yep.
Dang.
So, when you look at it that way, Chapman's not a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, to me, like, Chapman has been Hall of Very Good. He is not, I mean, he's not the best closer of his time. He's, and then.
Would another championship solidify him?
I mean, not really, because the way closers are used, like, that just doesn't mean a whole lot. If closers went, 2-3 innings and slammed the door day in and day out every game, maybe, but that's just not how closers are used anymore.
Right. Yeah, Chapman's got 701 appearances and 672 innings, so he's not even pitching an inning per outing.
Yeah, it's just it's so tough because just the baseball evolution.
I'm gonna respectfully disagree here. I'm not gonna jump on y'all's bed.
You can do that.
But that's the beauty of it,
right?
Get
out of here. I got some schoolwork that I gotta get done tonight.
Word.
Ryan?
All right, man.
Yeah, I heard your dog bark.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing over there. He's being stupid, probably barking at nothing.
Usually your dog's very silent in every episode.
Yeah, I know. Neighbor's been firing off fireworks too. Like 4th of July is way over, man. We got to cut that stuff out. But like I said, I gotta get some schoolwork done tonight. Got a little over an hour before it's due. So,
word, no worries, man. He probably found out about
how people get hold of you, man.
You can find me at BSing_sports right there down at the bottom of the screen. But yeah, man, it's been so good to talk baseball with you guys again. I know I didn't get a chance to stay on, as long as I usually do, but hopefully, soon there will be a day where I'm no longer in school, so I'll have all the time. I'll have a lot more time than I do now.
And you'll be in a new house. You're gonna have a new office.
Oh yeah, I actually have the office room already planned out and everything. So
nice.
Nice. We're gonna go over put some pictures
Alex,
in the background.
Nice to meet you.
Ryan, make it
Mark,
all.
Jason, good
nice
to talk
meet you, Ryan.
again.
Yep, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure, Ryan. Yep.
Ryan, thank you. All right.
Excuse me.
Oh man, we need to get somebody else back on here. I just got bigger.
All right. So did I.
Wants to see my face that big.
We're like Tommy Boy right now. Hey, look, it's
Tommy
Tommy on
Boy.
TV. Really fat. That's the TV. Anyway, that's an older movie. A lot of kids might not know that nowadays.
Right?
Oh yeah.
So many great movies from the past, man. That damn. I'm glad they made them back in the day because they would not fly nowadays.
No, absolutely not. Like Dirty Works. Did any of you ever see Dirty Works?
I don't think so. I can't remember
ago.
From the name, nah.
Long time ago.
Rodney Dangerfield today though.
Chris Farley was in Dirty Works. Norm Macdonald.
One movie I'm thinking of that would not fly well today is Blazing Saddles. If they had to go back and edit Blazing Saddles, the movie would run from 8 o'clock to 8:07. I mean,
It would be the opening credits and the closing credits. That would be it.
heard,
Everything else is gone.
right? But it's such a great comedy, and it's so freaking funny. But it just wouldn't fly today because it broke so much taboo back in the 70s, man.
Absolutely.
Someone asked, like, I saw today on Twitter, someone said, "Hey, what's your favorite comedian?" And I'm like, he wouldn't even last 5 seconds in this world now. Andrew Dice Clay back in his prime.
Right?
Oh yeah.
No, he'd be booed off every stage in America right now.
Yep.
I miss my favorite of all time is Mitch Hedberg. I miss Mitch Hedberg, man. That guy was funny as hell too.
Sam Kinison was good too.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was.
Y'all think that
what about Dane Cook? Dane Cook was all right.
Yeah, Dane was good. He was funny.
y'all
I'm a
remember
big
Ron
Nate
White?
Bargatze fan.
Is
Ron White, I
still
just
around?
saw Ron White. He
Yeah,
got
Ron
arrested
White.
in Florida. He said,
Oh,
did.
damn.
Did
yeah, he got
He was.
arrested.
I always
with
got
a
an
half
image of
gram
him.
of weed or something.
Oh, that's some
Hmm.
BS. They should have just gave him a ticket. I think you're allowed to have like 14 grams on you or something like that.
Did they call him in as tater salad though?
The tater salad.
Tater salad.
I always remember him with the whiskey in his hand.
Yeah.
Yes, he
Whiskey, no
does.
cigar.
Yeah, those stand-ups were great, man.
Yep.
So is Marcus Stroman going anywhere, guys? I'm just going to go over the top 15. That's it for this trade on the MLB rumors.
Sure.
I'm not going to go over all 50 unless you guys want to.
No, I don't have enough time to go over all 50. I'm sorry.
I don't either.
I didn't think so, but I figured I'd ask.
Do I think Marcus Stroman is going to go? Oh boy. I think it really depends on if the Cubs are still in contention. I think if the Cubs get hot and they find some way to jump in the NL Central there, which shouldn't be very hard given the Reds are still playing well. But if the Cubs get hot and they get in contention, I think they're going to stick to Stroman. If they continue to play inconsistently and they fall out of the playoff picture even more as we get closer to that deadline, then yeah, I think they'll deal him. Where he goes, I've heard the Dodgers as being a likely suitor. I've even heard possibly the Marlins if they want to go out and get another arm. But yeah, 50-50 on whether or not I think he goes.
Right now, Jay, there's
My
7
money's
games
on-
back.
7 games back? Okay.
Yeah,
42
they
and
selling.
47.
I see him as a Dodger.
Good call. Good call.
If you're looking at the
You know-
same thing I am, Adam, he's got a $21 million player option for next season. So you
Ooh,
got to be a little
Yeah.
careful with him too.
yeah.
Y'all take him. We don't want that. Y'all take him.
Oh, there it is. Yes, it is.
What about Bellinger? You guys be open? Welcome back, Bellinger out there in LA or what?
No, I don't think
He's on
I don't
his
see
block,
Bellinger.
too.
Yeah, Bellinger's on the trade block, but I don't see the Dodgers turning around and trading just to bring him back simply because he was a fan favorite. I mean, it makes no sense, especially when you look at the guys who they got to replace him on the roster: David Peralta, Jason Hayward, and JD Martinez. Well, actually, JD was signed to fill Justin Turner's spot in the lineup, but David Peralta right now ranks in the top 5 in baseball in plus WRC, and he ranks in the top 5 or 10 in on-base percentage and slugging percentage. This is a guy who's 36, 37 years old and was supposed to be washed up, but look what he's done with the Dodgers this year. And then
Another
as for,
Venezuelan.
yeah, another Venezuelan, that's right. And then when you look at Jason Hayward, the Dodgers signed Jason Hayward to a minor league contract. He was not even guaranteed to make that roster coming out of spring training. And Hayward's is having his best season in over 5 years. So when you look at
Maybe
Peralta
when you
and
play for
Hayward,
no money and you have to play again, you remember how to play
Yeah.
this game.
Yeah, exactly. So given the fact that Peralta and Hayward are having really good seasons, I don't see Bellinger coming back to LA. If anything, I can see him going to the Yankees and playing for his dad's team because his dad, Clay Bellinger, was a really good bench player and utility player for the Yankees back in the Joe Torre days. So if he does go, I think he'll end up in pinstripes, probably with the Yanks.
Word.
The
Man,
Yankees
you know
are
what?
interesting to talk about though, because all the time they're buyers, but right this season they're not doing that well. So are they going to be buyers again this year?
I would love to see him blow it up. Blow it up. Blow it up. It should be hilarious, dog.
Mark, I think they
never
have.
blow
I
it
think
up.
they have. Mark, I think they have to be buyers because Brian Cashman, I think his job is on the line. Like you just alluded to, the Yankees have underperformed this season. And aside from hearing the fire Aaron Boone rumors, Hal Steinbrenner and Hank Steinbrenner are just like their old man in that they don't have patience for losing. And Brian Cashman's job was on the hot seat as far back as last season. So if he doesn't go out and be aggressive and get at least one or two guys to help that roster, especially with Aaron Judge still injured, he's really, really going to be dancing on hot coals. I think he has no choice but to be a buyer.
The good thing for the Yankees is they're not as bad as the Mets.
Yeah, right. What do you got, Alex?
I got two things real quick. I think one has to do with the Yankees, right? And it has to do with Brian Cashman. I don't think I feel where you're coming from, and they would give him the boot, but I don't think they're going to give him the boot just because they extended him this offseason. So there's no way that they're going to put so much money on the table and then cut the guy loose. That's one, but I can understand the frustration looking at it from outside and like from the Yankee fan base. And then the second thing I was going to say, going back to David Peralta, if you get a chance to go on Instagram and go check out some of his videos, bro, he's got some really funny videos where he has like this fake cat, right? Like a stuffed cat, and he's chasing like Eduardo Escobar around. And it's just like the funniest thing because Eduardo Escobar has he can't stand cats. So apparently he was playing a game in Arizona when they were teammates, and a cat ran onto the field and Escobar headed to the dugout. It was hilarious. So every time you see Peralta, he's like, oh, Escobar's in the building. He's chasing him with his cat, bro. It's the funniest thing. All of a sudden, they're on the team bus, Team Venezuela, having some drinks. Everybody just having a good time. He's like, yo, David's like, Eduardo, look, I got something I brought here for you. And he pulls out the cat. He's like, don't bring that shit near me, man. I'm gonna fuck you up. Just chasing him around like in the bus. Like there's different stories. So just check it out. David Peralta, fun guy. Would have loved to have him as a Marlin.
Right? Yeah, I'll check it out. Thanks.
David Robertson going anywhere?
I think he's a piece they can deal, definitely.
I would not be surprised, and this is kind of a ridiculous scenario, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised if maybe he ends up in LA. I also wouldn't be surprised if he even goes to the Rangers, because we know that Aroldis Chapman is not going to be the first and only acquisition the Rangers make this season. And I don't know how good their bullpen is, but if they got Aroldis, that tells me that they have some concerns about their bullpen. And I have heard Robertson linked to the Rangers in some trade deadline scenarios, but I think he'll get dealt. And again, I think it depends on how much the team is asking for him and how desperate the other team is that needs him. So, but yeah, I think he'll go. Like with Stroman, I think it's 50-50.
Maybe they both end up Rangers.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, maybe they both end up Rangers. But yeah, let's give something like get Mark and all Royal Nation amped up about. Maybe they end up being Royals.
All right.
The top closer out of the Rangers bullpen is Will Smith right now with 15 saves.
Okay.
Will Smith. I remember when they were,
so they could use some help.
Yeah.
I remember during the COVID postseason, it was Will Smith Dodger catcher versus Will Smith back then brave pitcher.
And I remember that
Will Smith.
And I remember that Will Smith homering off of that Will Smith. Thank you very much.
Exactly. And now the
Will
new
Smith
Will
is
Smith
always one of my catchers. I try to get on every fantasy team I have.
Yeah, you got to put him on your fantasy team. He's a top 5 at his position in fantasy value, so you got to get him.
Watch him. I heard that he talks smack to Will Smith, the pitcher, talks smack to the hitters, and he says, "Keep my team's name out your mouth."
Yeah, he said that
and slaps him.
And then Max Muncy responds by saying, "Go get it out of the ocean."
Hey, that was a badass moment. That was a badass moment for the boy Max Muncy. You don't like it? Go get it. Oh, a badass moment.
Didn't they make shirts on that or something?
They did. The Dodgers made some shirts that says it has kind of the partial Dodger logo, and it shows a baseball flying over Oracle Park in San Francisco, and it says, "Go get it out of the ocean," in quotation marks.
That
was a big thing. There was a big thing on that I don't know, one of the shorts the other day or something.
Right.
I started laughing. I sent it to you, Jay, didn't I?
Yeah, you said. I think you did. I think you sent me the link for it or a photo of it or something like that. Yeah, and then you asked me, didn't the Dodgers do this or something? I said, yeah, they did. And I actually tried looking for it on Amazon, but I couldn't find any shirts like that on Amazon.
You could no, you
It's
probably
probably on
find it
eBay
on
somewhere.
no. There's a page. Damn, what is it called? I'm gonna tell you right now. It's like a sports fan page. Breaking Tees. That's what it's called.
Breaking Tees.
Shameless plug. Breaking Tees. They
I may
make
get that
shirts
for
like
my
this.
wife.
They make all types of shirts for like major league teams. So shout out to Breaking T. I remember when the Marlins were in the postseason run, I got me a shirt that said bottom feeders because damn Ryan's gone, but the Phillies broadcaster was like, yeah, the Marlins just a bunch of bottom feeders. Don't worry about them. And then we came and we punched them in the mouth. Yeah, let's go, baby.
So, Mark, I actually have a question for you regarding Kansas City because it's something I've actually been thinking about.
Yes, sir.
So, I know Dayton Moore is still their general manager.
No,
and I know
not.
that. Oh, he's not? Who's their GM now?
JJ Piccolo.
Oh, Piccolo. Okay, I stand corrected then. All right, well, then let me ask.
They moved Dayton Moore into another spot in the front office.
Okay, I stand corrected then. So let me ask you this. Are the Royals going to be as patient with JJ Piccolo and trying to build through this farm system as they were with Dayton Moore when he had guys like Hosmer and Moustakas and Will Myers and the like?
I don't think that the new owner is going to allow that. They got a new owner last year. I think he wants to get more success sooner so that he can get the new stadium built.
Ah, okay. Makes sense.
And if you open up a new stadium, you got to have some players to put in it. So I think that there's going to be more of a sense of urgency. But
I think I saw like a rendering of that of the new stadium. I think they're going to build I think it's a football facility or something next to it, and it's going to like cover.
No, that was an old idea. Arrowhead Stadium is already right next to Kauffman Stadium, and there was talk at one point of building a roof that could move back and forth between the two stadiums. But what they're talking about doing now is building a downtown stadium that would be like right in the center of Kansas City, kind of like what Denver did with Coors Field. So it would be something similar to that is what they're talking about. But like I said, you can't build a new stadium like that in a year. So it's going to be a couple of years down the road before they do it. But then got to have some bodies to put in there.
I mean, do y'all really need a new stadium right now? Like the Cops been around not too long, no?
It originally opened in 1973, but they renovated it in 2012. And to me, it's one of the more beautiful stadiums in baseball.
Yeah,
I love those waterfalls
and
the waterfalls. Every seat in the stadium faces home plate. The big Crown Vision scoreboard. It's a beautiful place to go see a game.
Yeah, and the Dodgers found out just how spacious those outfield dimensions are.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to have some guys with some speed to play out in the outfield out there, and it's always been that way. There is more turf to cover in the Kauffman Stadium outfield than any other stadium in baseball.
The Cough.
Yeah, I
up next,
have a hard time calling it Kauffman. I always call it Royal Stadium.
Yeah,
because that's
what
I
next
grew
is
up
Shane
on.
Bieber.
Suffered a loss today.
Yep.
Yes, he did. 4-1
Flip
loss
him.
to the Royals. First loss ever to the Royals.
Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Go get it out of the ocean.
I like it. It's not blue though, Mark. It's red.
No.
Yeah, the red throws me off. But it's
right?
It's hot though.
I'm just looking at that.
It's hot, though.
That's on something called T Public.
So, Adam, you asked about whether or not Bieber's going to get dealt. Yeah, I think he'll get dealt. The Dodgers obviously have been in rumors to get him. I know that. Who's the other team I heard? Not the Marlins. Sorry, Alex. The Blue Jays. For some reason, I heard a Bieber to the Blue Jays rumor. To me, I don't know. I mean, the Toronto's rotation is, it's all right, but I think he'll get dealt. I just don't know where. I wouldn't even be surprised if he goes to the Phillies, to be honest with you.
That's an interesting plug right there. I could see him being a Dodger or a Philly, honestly. So, and I mean, it would be great if I could see, honestly, instantly, both of those teams acquiring them, or either of the teams acquiring them and just extending them. Didn't this guy win a Cy Young?
Yeah, 2000. I want to say 2018,
20, and then
2019.
he got blown up in the playoffs against the Yankees.
That's right. Yep.
Blown
But where
up.
the Indians are actually in the lead in what you guys keep calling a horrible ass division, and I'm right here and I can hear you saying that stuff. Do you think the Indians are going to deal him, or are they going to try to go win the division?
Man, I think they. How many games out are they right now?
Well, they're actually in
They're
first
half a
place.
game in front.
Oh, so no, they're in front. They might be stubborn and keep them.
Yeah.
They got Terry Francona. Everybody loves Terry Francona. Everybody loves the Guardians. I'd say you flip them if you really, you got to be realistic. You got to have like a face-to-face conversation in the mirror and say, hey, we got it. We're going for it or not. And I don't think they got enough. But who knows, man? It's baseball. Somebody's got to open up that wallet.
I don't know why my YouTube's not popping up on here, but this is from Slasher. Well, there it is. What is our boldest take on the MLB trade deadline? This is from Slasher Sports. Billy, anyone want to take it?
I would probably go back to, I don't know, you guys were talking about Scherzer, but I think wherever Giolito winds up is probably going to be the biggest move. And that's just a matter of who thinks they've got a shot at it this year and how badly the White Sox want to clear the cupboard.
Is Lance Lynn also going back to Texas? I saw his name linked to there too.
It's a possibility.
Yep.
He's always been a good fill-in for whoever winds up picking him up.
Yep. My boldest take for the trade deadline is Shohei ain't going anywhere. I think he's going to stay in Anaheim with the Angels of LA County, of Riverside County, of Temecula Valley, whatever they call themselves again. And I think he's going to stay simply because Artie Moreno doesn't want to be known as the owner who trades away, perhaps, and it can be argued, the greatest player of his generation and probably the best in the history of the game. And again, that can be argued. I realize that's a very bold statement. But I think Artie Moreno, the owner of the Angels, knowing what kind of guy he is and what kind of businessman he is, he's not going to want to trade away Shohei, given the talent that he is. He's more willing to let him walk as a free agent and get nothing in return for him rather than trade away
$700 million.
Oh, he'll probably get $700 million, all right. And I know everybody thinks it's going to be a slam dunk that he'll go with to the other LA team with the Dodgers, but I don't think that's a slam dunk, because when you look at the Padres, if they continue to spiral downward, and if AJ Preller and Peter Seidler decide to sell off a bunch of assets down there in San Diego, that makes them prime candidates to swoop in and get Shohei next offseason. The Giants have a large Japanese fan following up in San Francisco. They would love to get Shohei, and regardless of what everybody thinks of the Giants, they are not a small market team, guys. I think the Giants have the 5th or 6th largest payroll in all of baseball. They have money to spend. Their organization likes making people think they're a small market club because that's how they built their team in the past, through the draft, through some plug-in guys here and there. But I can see them going after Shohei. I think the Mariners are a logical choice to get Shohei, and I also think the Yankees and the Mets, you got to factor them into the equation too. So Shohei going to the Dodgers is not a slam dunk. And I love the optimism. I love all the Dodgers experts out there.
Category, Jay?
I'm sorry?
The Red Sox in that category?
Absolutely. The Red Sox need a slam dunk to win that fan base back. I would not put Boston out of the race either.
They'd have what, how do you say his name?
Masatoka Yashida, I think, or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be very dangerous in that lineup right there.
Yeah, he definitely would. So, yeah, there are at least half a dozen other teams out there that need Shohei more than the Dodgers do, and they're also more desperate for him than the Dodgers are. So Shohei to the Dodgers is realistic. Could it happen? Absolutely. Will it happen? Not 100% likely, but I don't think Shohei is going to get traded, though. I think he stays in Anaheim, especially with Mike Trout being on the injured list, because they still need to find a way to give Angels fans a reason to go pay their hard-earned money to see that team play, and Shohei right now is the only reason.
Do you think the Padres are going to blow it up down there too?
I'm sorry?
Do you think the Padres are going to blow up their team too?
It depends, Mark. If they continue to spiral,
they haven't been up to what they're supposed to be either this year.
I saw Blake Snell's on the block.
Yeah, Blake Snell's on the block. A couple of other guys are as well. But Mark, I think it depends. If the Padres are able to do a second half rebound, go on a large winning streak, and get back in the race, no, I don't think they'll blow it up. But if they continue to spiral out of control, and if King Knucklehead himself, Manny Machado, continues to be king of the knuckleheads and continues to divide that locker room and that clubhouse the way I've read and heard, if the Padres don't get some kind of cohesive unit going in there to match the talent that they have on paper, they most definitely will blow it up. And Adam, I remember telling you way back in August, you were asking me about how I felt about the Padres, and I said to you, my friend, yeah, they look great on paper, but let's wait and see what happens when they play the games. And so far, they have not been an impressive baseball team.
Man, I don't think that Shohei deserves the highest paid contract in the sport today. There ain't no way nobody paying him $700 million. No way. I think maybe he's gonna surpass Trout for sure. I love how we saw Bryce Harper come in, get like 325, and then the Angels a couple days later, Artie Moreno. Yeah, here's 450 or something like that. Hold my beer. But there's no way, like I don't think you can't be that stubborn. Like you can't invest almost $1 billion into the team and you're not playing 500 ball or barely playing 500 ball. And I don't know, man. I get what you're saying about the fan base. It's gonna be like a gut wrenching move. But if you have an opportunity to flip around that franchise and get a plethora of good players, you got to bust that move. You know that Shohei's going to be thinking about the money. He's going to be thankful with the Angels organization for giving him that chance, rolling the dice on him to be the first player ever to play as a pitcher and a hitter. But at the end of the day, he's a free agent. I don't know who. I wouldn't be surprised if Scott Boras was his manager, or his agent. But he's going to try to get the most that he can. And they got to get creative with it because no team in Major League Baseball is going to be like, hey, here's $700, $800 million. And I mean, look at the worth of each franchise. You know what I'm saying? The Marlins are worth, I think it's like $1 billion or a little bit less than that. There's no way in hell. I'm not saying the Marlins would do it. I mean, speaking of, if the Marlins would want to make a splash and you're trying to win a World Series, why not go for Shohei? Get a rental. Fuck it.
Never underestimate a major league owner's ability to overspend.
Right.
The only guy I can really see opening up the wallet is two guys, Yankees, Mets. They really just being stubborn and say, fuck it, we're going to open up the whole bank.
And the Red Sox have done that if they find themselves in a pissing match with the Yankees.
But then they're going to handcuff
Rodriguez. Looks to be in sell mode completely. If you look at this trade rumors, pretty much there's a lot of Red Sox on this list.
Yeah.
I think you want to sign a guy like Ohtani, man, but you also don't want to handcuff yourself and your franchise for the next 10 years and not be able to put anything competitive out there. So,
yep, that's what a lot of teams do.
That's like whether the Royals come in and sign Ohtani, $800 million. There goes the new stadium.
There's my hot take. That will not happen. I guarantee the Royals will not sign Ohtani. You can write that one down, take it to the bank, buddy.
You think the Pirates are getting calls on O'Neal Cruz, even though he's injured?
I'll bet they are. Everybody, you gotta ask. All they can do is say no, so I'm sure people are asking.
Jay, have the Dodgers opened up on this one yet?
Considering O'Neal Cruz used to be in the Dodgers farm system and they traded him in that Tony Watson deal several years ago. I don't know, Adam. I mean, look, Andrew Friedman is the pure definition of Kenny Rogers' song, "The Gambler." This is a guy that looks at every option and any option. Would he be ridiculous not to at least explore an O'Neal Cruz trade? Yeah, I don't know. But also, Andrew Friedman has a propensity for trading for injured players. Danny Duffy, and J.P. Firestone, and Alex Reyes, and the list just goes on and on. He loves trading for injured players and then having them either not pan out or whatever. But Adam, I don't see the Pirates trading O'Neal Cruz though, because even though he's injured, they have some good young players there. Why not bring him back to have him be the core of that? Some of that good young talent base they have there with Henry Davis and Ke'Bryan Hayes and some of those other guys.
I mean, I don't want to see him go anywhere. I was just throwing that out there. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, Jay, or you Could they go after Paul DeJong?
Yeah, most definitely. I think Paul DeJong would be a great fit in Los Angeles. He would fit their need not only at the primary position of shortstop, but he's also interchangeable in the infield as well. I think he's played some second base, and my man Logan would be able to vouch for this more than I would. But Andrew Friedman loves versatility in his players. He loves being able to stick guys at 3 or 4 different positions. I mean, Mookie Betts is the best example of that. The guy is a right fielder in Los Angeles, but we forgot he came up as a second baseman, and he's playing Gold Glove caliber defense at second base right now for the Dodgers. And then he's also played some shortstop a little bit this year when Miguel Rojas hasn't played. So Friedman loves that versatility. And so, yeah, from that standpoint, I think DeJong would be a great fit in Los Angeles. He would benefit a lot from playing with the Dodgers, and likewise, they would benefit from having him there.
Alex,
Alex,
who are
I've got
the
an answer to one of
Marlins
your-
interested in? Oh, sorry, Mark. Go ahead.
I was just going to say I've got an answer to one of Alex's questions. Shohei Ohtani's agent is a guy named Nez Balelo.
So you
I've
know,
never heard
Belelo's
of him,
not. You're
but
not
that's
trying
the
to lay
guy.
low though.
No, he's not.
Hey, Jason, real quick, man, going on the Dodgers, I feel that you're so passionate and I love it and it's cool and
Yeah.
But damn, like Dodger Nation's really gonna be satisfied with the Paul DeJong? I feel like I feel like it's like when you guys got Miguel Rojas, I was reading the comments and people were like, Miguel Rojas is really what we got? Like, no disrespect, Miguel, he's a good defender and everything, but I don't know. I feel like the Dodgers are used to really getting something that's gonna bam like a headliner. You guys,
Alex, you're right. Alex, you're right. We wouldn't be happy with Paul DeJong. We'll be happy with Shohei Ohtani. We won't be happy with DeJong. We'll be happy with Shohei. But, I mean, here's the thing, though. Look, the main reason why the Dodgers weren't as active this past winter in signing some better players to help their team out, and why they gave 1-year deals to or 2-year deals to JD Martinez, a 1-year deal to Peralta, and then a minor league deal to Hayward, is so that they could go back and reset the luxury tax so they can make a big splash for Shohei Ohtani. They kind of subliminally sent that message to all their fan base. And that's one of the reasons why we're frustrated as a fan base this regular season, because they sacrificed a lot of the depth on their roster, especially in their bullpen, which is so terrible it should be illegal. Their bullpen couldn't save a cat out of a tree. That's how bad they are. But with that being said, if we get DeJong, we get him knowing that he's only going to be a midseason rental. And given that the Dodgers have their sights set on Shohei, they're not going to get DeJong long-term money at the end of the season. No way, Jose. They know they're just going to get him for the final, 80 or 75 games that are left in the season. But you're right. We're not going to be happy with DeJong. We'll be happy if and when we get Shohei.
Y'all should have kept Trey Turner, man.
You know what? I wanted them to keep Trey Turner, but obviously it was clear just in the way that he played that he didn't want to be in Los Angeles. And I don't say that out of disrespect to Trey, but Trey's an East Coast guy, and his family lives in Florida in the offseason. And he made it pretty clear to the Dodgers and to all of Major League Baseball, he wanted to go someplace that was closer to where his family lives in Florida, whether it's training there in the spring or playing in the regular season. And because he spent all of his career in Washington before that trade with the Dodgers, he did good things for us, but the Dodgers knew they never had a chance to get him long term. If they did, Andrew Friedman and Mark Walter, the principal owner, would have signed him long term last year and the year before that. So they obviously knew they were going to keep him around for the long haul, just like he knew he wasn't going to be there for the long haul.
Also, Corey Seager too.
And yeah, Corey Seager too.
Do you think
I would have left for that kind of money too.
Yeah, right.
If you had the chance, right, like to open up your wallet, I mean, you can't go back in time, right? But like if you were to open up the wallet for a Trey Turner or a Corey Seager, which one do you think the fan base would have enjoyed more?
Actually, Alex, that's a tough question. I think that they would enjoy Corey Seager more than Trey Turner, simply because Corey was more relatable to the fans. The fans really gravitated towards him a lot more than they did Trey Turner. And I think the big reason for Trey is that he's not a very outspoken guy. He lets his play do his talking, but when his play is inconsistent, it's inconsistent. And with Corey Seager, while his play was inconsistent at times too, he was very amiable with the fan base, and they really clamored to him a lot. So I think that they would be more akin to I would at least be more akin as a GM signing Seager than Trey, just given that factor with the fan base and also with his teammates as well. Corey was really popular with his teammates in the clubhouse.
Yeah, man. I don't know why you guys didn't just re-sign him, open up the wallet. Like
it all came down to his injury history, to be honest with you. I mean, from their standpoint at that time, he was coming off Tommy John surgery. He was also coming off a bad back. He was also coming off, I think, either an ACL injury or an ankle injury. They didn't want to dish out $240 million to a guy who lost the better parts of 2 seasons on the injured list. It came down to his injury history. That's what it was.
Scared money don't make no money. We're just throwing that out there.
That's right.
Jay, you
Hey,
keep
Adam.
talking about the Dodgers bullpen. Do you think they would be in the market for a Scotty Barlow?
Oh, absolutely, Mark. The rumors about him going to the Dodgers have flown left and right. I'm mixed bag on Barlow, to be honest with you, because I've looked at his numbers recently and I've noticed that he's kind of hit a couple bumps in the road. And the Dodgers do have a couple of relievers that they are expected to have back after the All-Star break. And I'll tell you that losing Daniel Hudson to an MCL sprain was a Dodger blue kick in the nuts, man. We were so looking forward to that guy coming back. And then when he went down with that MCL sprain, he's probably done for the rest of the year. I'm like, are you kidding me? If they get Barlow, it's going to be for depth reasons primarily, because they need a lot of depth and a lot of length out of that bullpen, because guys like Vesia and guys like Evan Phillips, they're being taxed right now because of all the innings they're throwing. So, but I can see Barlow going to LA. I think he'd look better in Dodger blue than Royal blue anyway. Yeah.
He'd have to pack up his RV and move it out to California, though.
Hey, the parking lot of Dodger Stadium is massive, my friend. He would find a place for it, let me tell you.
I've never been there, so I don't know.
Bro, it's like going into like Disney World. It's like
Right.
Disney World for
Is it?
fans. Like that shit's so big, and you're going up the hill. It's like, oh my god! And then you finally get in there.
Dodger Stadium is very difficult to get into, but once you get into it, the parking lot, it is massive. So there are not a lack of spots, that's for sure.
So much history, Dodgers, man. So much.
Yeah.
I did a tour of it, man. And I just remember like coming out through the player, where the players come in through, and they got all these Gold Gloves and all these Cy Youngs, and it's like, holy cow, man. So hey, shout out to you guys. Shout out to you. Any player that walks in rocking that Dodger blue, they gotta get motivated every single day.
Yeah,
got to be. All that gold around you, holy cow.
Yeah,
guys, I hate to cut this short, but I'm afraid I'm gonna have to leave as well, Adam. Sorry about that.
Right now, you're done.
Well, I can.
I'm getting to the same spot, so don't give him a hard time.
That's all right. That's all right. What are your predictions for the end of the season, Jay? Real quick, we'll wrap it up. We'll just finish it off with that.
Okay. Predictions for the end of the season as far as what? Division winners, award winners?
We're not going to go into playoff, just division winners for the end of the year.
Division winners, I'm going to stretch out and say, I'm going to start in the National League first. So I'm going to stretch out and say in the NL West, still the Dodgers. I love the Diamondbacks and what they've done. They play with a lot of excitement and a lot of enthusiasm, but I want to see if Arizona can maintain that throughout the rest of the season. I still like the Dodgers in the West. And the NL Central, God, I don't want to pick this, but I'm afraid I'm going to. I'm going to go ahead and say – I'm going to say Pittsburgh, man. Go with the Pirates. Why not? Go Buccos.
We're 8.5 back.
And then in the NL East,
you're not going with the big machine, huh?
Well, I like Cincinnati, but I mean, here's the thing: they're catching lightning in a bottle. They're an exciting, fun team, but their rotation scares me a little bit. How much depth do they have in that rotation, and what will their bullpen look like? So, and Ellie De La Cruz, I mean, watching that kid play baseball, it's like he's playing with his hair on fire. He's a fun kid to watch, but
he still
I don't know.
On Saturday.
He did in the span of 2 pitches and 40 seconds, man. Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So jump into the NL East. The Atlanta Braves. Forget it. Sorry, Alex. Forget it. It's over. It's the Braves division. That's done. In the American League, AL West, same thing there. It's the Texas Rangers division. I'm sure the Astros will make a second half run here, but the Rangers just have too much offensive firepower in that lineup. I like them in the AL West. AL Central division, who cares? Wait,
the
what?
Guardians are still in first. I'm looking at it right now. I thought they were a half
Okay.
game back, but apparently they're in first.
Yeah.
By
Okay.
that
So
percentage
again,
point. 0.05 percentage point. Just like the
nice.
Dodgers.
All right. So AL Central, like I said, who cares? AL East, I'm going to go ahead and give that to the. I'm going to say Tampa Bay. I think Tampa's going to stay strong and hold in there, and they're going to win the AL East.
Look, these Orioles put a bashing today on these Yankees.
Right?
Or no, is that who they played?
The
Yankees?
Twins. They were playing
The
the
Twins.
Twins.
Yeah.
It was 1-1, and then the next time I looked up, it was 12-1.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't see how it turned out, but yeah.
All right, Mark, go ahead.
I would probably go with the same division winners as what Jay just came up with. All I know is that my guys are not going to have an impact on it unless they knock somebody off towards the end of the season and knock them a game out of first place or something.
26 and 65. You're on great pace, Mark.
Are we even ahead of the A's anymore?
Yes, you guys are.
Yes,
By
we
like
are
4
by
games.
one game.
Or one
So
game.
we're ahead
Okay.
of, we're ahead of a
One
team
game.
that's trying to lose. So yeah, that's great.
Mark, look at the bright spot. At least you're not moving to Las Vegas.
So I always look. My one bright spot is that the Royals have been to the World Series twice since the last time the Yankees went,
Wow.
and we won it once. So I can always use that, even though we suck most of the time. Every 30 years or so, we're going to be good for a World Series.
And y'all beat the
So-
Mets.
Yes. And so look out in 2045.
Right.
That's funny. That's funny.
Alex, who you got?
Oh man. All right, man. I'm gonna go American League here. Definitely in the East. I got the Rays. In the West, Texas may be in the lead, but you can't take anything away from the Astros, even though they cheat and everything.
Yes, you can.
So till they get the throne, I think Houston's gonna win it in the West in the American League. Out in the Central, I'm going with the Twins. I feel like Pablo Lopez and company, they got something left in the tank, and they're gonna come with like a
They're
vengeance.
2 back right now. I mean, a half game back.
Wild card, definitely going Baltimore, Boston, and Texas.
You're going Boston on a massive run in the second half.
Yeah, they're gonna flip it. I'm just gonna go ahead and.
Wow.
I don't know.
You're
Maybe,
first.
Tom
maybe
from
it's
Quincy, I hope you're listening.
You're supposed to join us.
maybe I gotta
said next time, guys. So
I got a soft spot. I got a soft spot for Fenway. That's what it is. And
I love Fenway. It's probably my favorite park away from PNC. Don't get me wrong, Miami's nice too, but Fenway is just it's like if I went to LA, I'd probably be in the same shoes. Like, damn. But I was at Fenway, so I can say that.
I love Dodger Stadium. Don't get it twisted. I need to go check out KC in Pittsburgh, but I think
Yeah, you
Pittsburgh
do.
will probably win it. And as far as the East, National League East, obviously the Braves are going to win it. They can win all they want. And they can do the little chop. Are they going to win the World Series? Hell no. All right. In the West out there, you know what? I'm going to go with the Giants. How about that?
Oh,
I hate to tell you, man. I hate
Alex
to say
coming
it.
in hard.
I think the Giants gonna get hot. They got a history of it. Arizona, they're nice. They got lightning in a bottle too, right? But I think they're gonna crumble, fall apart because of the lack of experience.
Adam, hit the mute button, man, right now.
We got the Central. I got the Brew Crew. I got the Brew Crew because I'm always having the brews. So
All right.
you know what I'm saying.
That's because you talked to Chase.
Shout out to Chase. The wild card, definitely. We got the Marlins there. We got the Dodgers, and you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm like stuck between Arizona and Philadelphia, but I'm gonna go with Zona. How about that?
So we're thinking the Reds are just gonna fall apart.
Absolutely. Come on, the Big Red Machine. Come on, they don't got enough experience. You know, the young boy De La Cruz is not going to be running on this and all cylinders. They're going to figure him out eventually. That's just me keeping it 100. That's me knowing baseball and stuff. You know? I think I know baseball.
Well, for what he's doing right now, he is a hell of a player, man. It's fun watching him play the game.
Definitely.
I
I love how
don't
he
want to see
did
it
that.
end. Actually, I like watching it. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
The home run he hit off of the Nationals, and he looked back and he pointed at the bat, the knob. That shit was hilarious.
Yeah, I got to admit, I got to admit, if I was a pitcher,
there was something that happened before that pitch, right?
Yeah, they told him that his bat was kind of sus. The Nationals
yeah,
were like,
he said,
"Yo, his
"Check my bat
bat's
now."
weird. Check my bat." Yeah.
Yeah,
So he hit the
yeah.
home run, and he was like, "Check my bat, dog." Oh, he
He hit
crazy.
it like 472 feet or some shit.
He blasted it. He blasted it. But
Yep.
like, let the kids play, bro. If you're gonna let Acuna do some BS like that, you're gonna get mad at O'Neal. Come on, bro. If anything,
point.
if anybody deserves to be hit by a pitch, here come all the Acuna lovers. They're gonna come at me hard. But Acuna
Good
probably
point.
deserves a get hit by a pitch more than O'Neal.
Didn't a Marlin player strike out Acuna in a game?
Oh, our catcher Jacob Stallings struck him out. I think it was
He threw like a fluster curveball at like 46. And then he threw like
Killed
a
him.
mediocre fastball at 76, and then he threw the heater right down the middle, and Acuna just stood there.
It was
former
hilarious.
Pittsburgh Pirate legend Jacob Stallings, I might
Oh
add.
my God! I hope he turns a corner, man. Because over here in South Florida, we're kind of a little bit fed up with boy. We need him to swing the stick a little bit more.
Well, that's why we got rid of him.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Austin Hedges is on the trade block. I saw it.
Nice.
I know you guys want that 176 batting average.
Hey, I like Mark, but I'm just gonna go ahead and throw a little bit of dirt in.
He's a good defensive catcher.
Mark, I didn't know you were a Jets fan, dude. What's up with the Rodgers?
Hey. Let me,
He took
let
the-
me adjust that a little bit.
I'm just messing
Oh,
with you. I'm
boy.
just messing. Hey, but it's kind of funny how history
Mark,
repeats himself,
Alex,
right?
you should see this man's game room.
Yeah, right.
It looks
If
epic.
Mark shows it off real quick.
That's
No,
my
I saw
shares
the
of stock
shareholder
right
thing.
there, buddy.
I saw the shareholder thing. I just wanted to throw a little bit of dirt in his face because I know it probably hurts to feel like history repeating itself watching a great.
Jay is
Packer
also
leave.
a Packer.
Yes, you're talking to
If
two
history
Packers fans here, Alex. Tread
If
carefully.
history
And it's
repeats
ironic.
itself, I'm good with it.
It's
the
ironic
last
how
time-
Rodgers leaves and he's a Jet just like Favre did.
And look how that turned out.
Hey, which one did you enjoy more, Rodgers or Favre?
Oh, that's a tough call. I think Rodgers was the technically better player, but there were times where Favre was more fun to watch, but he
The
was
old
also more
gunslinger.
frustrating to watch because he was good for doing something stupid about 2 or 3 times a season.
I feel you. Hopefully
But it was
Rodgers
fun.
hopefully Rodgers doesn't end up a Viking. That shit busted like push my buttons to see Favre as a Viking.
Oh yeah, me too.
Jay, any thoughts
Pushed a
on
lot
this
of Packer
conversation?
people's buttons.
I'm sorry.
Any thoughts on this conversation?
Actually, you know what? I am excited to see what the Packers are going to do this upcoming NFL season. I am really
I am
geeked to see what Jordan Love is going to do with Christian Watson, who's already one of the best exciting young wide receivers in the game. I'm really excited about Romeo Dobbs. We still have Aaron Jones, who's a legitimate playmaker. We still have A.J. Dillon, who's your prototypical. I'm not going to compare him to Earl Campbell type back here, Mark, because I never saw Earl Campbell play. You did, my friend. But I'm excited. I'm not saying the Packers are going to win their division. I'm not saying they're going to go to the Super Bowl. But you know what? The Packers signed Jordan Love they gave him another year on his contract to avoid that 5-year rookie contract expiring just to see what he can do. This is Jordan Love's time. Let's see what he can do. I'm excited to see what the Packers are going to do this upcoming season.
Wish
we're
you're
not gonna
flying
be
to
as bad as
Pittsburgh
people
whenever they
think.
play, and we can go
Nope.
hang out.
I'd love to do that, man. I'd love to do that. I'd love to hang with Mark too. I think Mark would be one of those old-fashioned guys who would crack a hole in the bottom of the beer can and just shotgun it right there. Am I wrong, Mark?
In the
You're
suite.
wrong. I'm not a beer guy.
Okay, I stand corrected.
Don't
I can see
worry,
him
Mark.
doing
We'll
it,
show
though.
up with some white claws. We'll show up
Right.
with some white claws for you.
No, I'm a diabetic with kidney stones, so I try to avoid anything that's got bubbles in it anymore.
Okay, well, see, I'm type 2 diabetic, so I'm the same way, my friend.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, so we're not drinking whiskey either.
Hell no. No way. Adam, you can drink the whiskey, but we're gonna abstain from the whiskey, my friend.
I'll drink
It's
some
game day.
Gatorade and some iced tea.
We have a drinking problem with the football town.
Yeah.
A little bit of
I think
tequila.
everyone does, though.
Yeah.
The only problem is like we have a place. You like Green Bay obviously has a place to tailgate. Alex, do you guys have a place to tailgate for your football games down there?
Oh yeah, absolutely. At the Hard Rock, that's one of the things that I miss most.
No,
about,
I mean like in the parking lot, or what do you guys do?
Yeah. Right outside the stadium. The game might be at 1. People show up 9:30, 10, grilling, turned up. Everybody's welcome. Everybody, oh y'all, you want some food? You want some beer? You want some? It's like,
Yep.
you can show up with like $10 in your pocket, but everybody gonna take care of you. It's kind of the same thing with the U.
Yeah,
That's one of the things I miss about
Broncos games.
That's one of the things I miss about the Marlins playing at the Hard Rock. You know, they built the stadium for the Dolphins, but it's really the house the Marlins built. 2 World Series in that place.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Leland, baby. John Winter.
Smoking heaters in the dugout.
There you go.
Love Jim Leland, dude. Jim
Right.
Leland's shit.
Hey, another guy that used to smoke them in the dugout too was Jack McKeon. Traded Jack.
Old Trader
Earl
Jack.
Weaver.
Yeah, Earl Weaver.
did
Right.
that back in the day too.
Earl Weaver was a trip, bro. I love watching him go off on people. Obviously, I wasn't around for that, but I you know what I'm saying. I dig into the internet archives.
Earl
Kinda
Weaver
like
had a
Doc
relief
Ellis.
pitcher named Don Stanhouse. He called him full pack because he'd smoke a full bag of cigarettes while he was on the game.
That's so funny.
I would say
Adam?
Mason used to drink a fifth of tequila before the games.
Yeah, there you
Adam,
go.
I saw a video on YouTube earlier this week. Old footage of when Jim Leland and Barry Bonds were still in Pittsburgh, and it was Bonds getting into an argument with Leland. Leland dropping
saw that
F-bomb after F-bomb. I'm going to find that link and I'm going to send it to you, buddy. I think you'll love it.
Epic.
That was
Epic.
spring training.
Yeah, spring training.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah,
You don't like it?
I
Get the fuck off
remember.
of my field.
that's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Jimmy always had the big cojones, the big balls. I'll tell you that.
And you know what? He'll be in the Hall of Fame as a manager one day. He really will.
I don't know why he hasn't been already.
Yeah.
Fucking
know why
popularity
either.
contest.
All he did was win.
Yep.
Yes,
Well,
he did.
anyway, guys, I do have to go. I'm sorry.
How
Gotta
do people
ready.
get you, Jay, before we go?
Right here on the bottom, you can follow me at Dodger Jason. Alex, I saw you just dropped a Vine, so I'm going to follow you as soon as I'm off the link here. So it was a pleasure talking baseball with you today, my friend. Hopefully we can do it again. Mark, it's always a pleasure, man. Great talking sports with you.
You too, Jay.
Adam, it's always a pleasure to be on your show as well. And let me just close
Thank
with saying this. Let me just close by saying this, Mark. I found a Bo Jackson replica powder blue Kansas City Royals jersey a la 1987-88 for less than $100. I'm going to purchase that bad boy and I will wear it next time I'm on the show with you, man.
That's awesome. I've got one hanging in the very next room. That's a Bo Jackson powder blue from 1980.
Nice. All right.
Yes,
Sounds good.
It's a beautiful thing.
It is. Anyway, again, it was fun. You guys take care until next time, and God bless.
All right, Jay. Thanks for coming on, man.
Okay, thanks again, Adam. Until next
We'll
time.
talk. Mark, how do people get you?
I am at Nebraska Packer on Twitter. Just reestablished myself a little bit and trying to regain some traction again. If for whatever reason somebody wants to talk to me, that's the place to do it.
Gotcha.
Always a pleasure to be on here. I appreciate you asking me to be in here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All the time. You know that. I try to anyway. I try to.
I still want to get you out
Seems
here
to be
to
getting a
Nebraska
little easier
sometime.
now that baseball's over for the grandkids for you.
Yeah, a little bit. But, we got 3 of them that almost live with us all of the time. So it's a little hectic around my house sometimes.
Well, one day they're going to make a show and they're going to put us to shame.
Yes, they will.
Hey, if you ever in South Florida, Mark, hit me up. Adam, you don't hit me up.
Oh, okay.
I see we followed each other on Twitter, Alex. I'll be looking for you.
Word, man. Hey, man, good luck to the Royals, man. I know stuff ain't looking so good, but better days are coming.
Always. I've been a fan since 1976, so I'm not going to change now.
Word, that's how I feel about the Marlins. The same sentiment.
Good to meet you, buddy.
Take it easy, man.
All right, Mark.
Okay,
Take it easy, buddy. Thanks for coming on.
right. You bet.
Mr. Alex, how do people get a hold of you?
Man, at the Real Akon on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? All over social media. Holler at me. And hey, man, thanks again. Once again, we're here at Driving to the Top Productions, talking some baseball, talking some
Absolutely.
sports, turned up, shameless plug. Let's go Marlins. Keep watching baseball. Everybody turn up. We root for your teams. All right.
I'm
That's the beauty of
excited.
baseball.
Baseball is one of my favorite games. I'm hiding all my jerseys in the back because I just realized I have all hockey jerseys behind me.
No. What I saw what you did. Forget about the hockey jerseys. You put the Pac-Man machine behind you, dog. That's effed up because you got me wanting to play now. I got the itch now.
Yeah, well, there's Galaga on there too.
I'm out of here. You sounded like a dinosaur, bro. Hey, for those kids that don't know what Galaga is, go Google it.
It was a badass arcade game that we played as kids, man. Many quarters of my day went into the Galaga.
That's funny as shit.
But it was the pinball machines that got me.
Oh, nah.
No pinball?
It was okay. It was
I don't know.
okay to me.
Because I had the game at home on the Atari still. So I don't know. I didn't have a pinball machine at home.
I guess I just missed the machine, like the actual machine, like in person. Like I remember going to this pizza spot here in Miami and playing Pac-Man and shit, and talking shit. Like, oh shit, here they come. Oh fuck, you know what I'm saying? The pinball shit was cool. Saying. It was like bing, 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 bing. But it was like, but the fucking little like you know what I'm saying when they were behind you and you were the Pac-Man. All of a sudden you ate the shit and you turn around like fuck you asshole.
Right.
And all of a sudden the juice ran off.
Pac-Man is a genius.
For real. All right, my man.
Like, thank you, Alex. We're gonna get our shit all figured out now that things are calming down in South Beach land. We'll get your show going sooner or later on the chat, on the Miami Chat 305. And
that's right, baby.
We'll get it going. I'm not in a rush. Whenever you're ready to get going, we'll get going. Other than that, I'm just going to have you come on the shows and invite you till you're ready to roll.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot for reminding me to do this today. I know we were either going to do it yesterday or today, but thanks for hitting me up with the message and the link. I was like, oh, yes, at 9 o'clock, I'm going to do it. And all of a sudden, I started doing other shit, and I was like, oh, shit. So shout out to you.
I saw that, and I was like, that's what we got to do. We got to help each other out.
But
But
all right, my man.
But I thank you for popping on, Mr. Alex. Like I said, hit me up whenever you're ready to do your own show, and that way you can go nuts all about the Marlins and not have to worry about Dodger Blue or Royal Blue in the conversation.
I don't mind it, bro. You know me, I can talk baseball with anybody, so I don't have a problem.
I know. But sometimes, you just want to talk about your team and your team only, Your spot to brag, as they would say.
I wish I would have came in sooner and came in hotter at Ryan. Like, fuck the Phillies. Like,
Ryan's a good guy, man. He's good.
I know.
He's
I'm
so
just talking,
knowledgeable.
I'm just talking smack. I would have said puck the Phillies. How about that?
Right.
Because that's our closer.
Right.
But whatever. Philly.
Ryan's a good dude here.
Philly was so close, but yet so far. We don't got to win no divisions. We out there to win chips, baby. Let's go, Marlins.
Well, you're what? 5 games up on them right now.
14 games over 500. Woo!
No, I mean you're 5 games up on the Phillies.
Yeah, but 14 over 500 is beast, bro. Best start in franchise history.
Wow, Mets and Nationals suck. Burn it down, baby. Shitty field.
That's funny. Turn it up, turn it down, shitty field.
Go back to Shea.
Yeah, for real. Flip Mrs. Met. Well, all right, my bro. I'll holler at you, Adam. Take it easy, man.
All right, buddy. Take it easy, man. Take it easy.
All right, word.